Hello friends, and welcome to lesson number 6. Here we are going to learn about the connection between dopamine and nicotine, sugar, sex, drugs, and more. Let's start with what science knows about the direct link between the neurotransmitter dopamine and addiction. In fact, Big Pharma was willing to spend tens of millions of dollars to investigate this relationship. According to the results of the studies, Big Pharma develops drugs designed to help those who want to stop their addiction. But what is dopamine? Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, a hormone-like chemical produced in the brain, and it transmits communication and messages through connections in the neural fibers that are in the nervous system. Dopamine is also called the happiness and pleasure hormone because a high level of it causes us a sense of happiness, confidence, and self-esteem. That's a feeling that we are rewarded for something we have done. And that's the feeling that people get after they do something that makes them happy, like participating in sports, competition, going on vacation, winning something, after eating delicious food, dancing, singing, having sex, and more. Studies have found that nicotine, fattening food, and drugs raises dopamine levels. But this is a false feeling. Those feelings didn't happen because you did something worthwhile, but because you took something that artificially raised dopamine levels. Those addictives give feeling that we have been rewarded without doing anything positive. This false feeling is similar to a dream, but the dream shatters immediately after waking up. The drugs that are absorbed by the receptors in the brain causes the production of dopamine to increase. In a chain reaction, the addicts feel more motivated and confident, a sense of concentration and well-being, and being in control. After a short time using the drug, dopamine level start to drop, and with it the mood of the addict, who starts to lose confidence and become impatient until he uses the drug again, which raises the dopamine level again, and so on. The fact is that the addict lives on a higher dopamine level than the non-addict. Most addicts always start the day with a drug of their choice, and the addict's peace of mind throughout the day depends on a high dopamine level. The first morning dose raises dopamine to the level he's used to. Then each additional dose, the drug maintains a high dopamine level for the rest of the day. Addicted people constantly want to be happier. They are sure their lives are going to change any day, but that doesn't happen. In fact, addicts look less happy and more distressed. Now, many studies show that depressed people using drugs still suffer from depression. To someone who's not addicted, dopamine begins to rise when he is about to do something positive. The dopamine level continues to rise when he does something excited, and dopamine level goes even higher after he gets a reward for what he did. Listen to several examples of how the mechanism works to create excess dopamine in the brain. A person expects to go on a vacation. The excitement increases. On the vacation, he has good time and dopamine level rises even more. Then he returns home full of experiences and tells it to his friends and family. And happiness is at its peak. You go on a date, you get excited before the date, dopamine goes up. The date was great, dopamine goes even higher. Just imagine if the date ends in making love and dopamine is as fireworks high in the sky. One more. Someone has developed something new that saves the company a lot of money, and he's feeling great about it. The boss thanks him, shakes his hand, and pats his shoulders, and his level of dopamine rises even higher. The boss rewards him with a bonus, and his heart is full of joy. And then he takes the whole family for a vacation on a tropical island. His dopamine reaches the rooftop. You see what I'm talking about? The brain has a system called the reward system. When we are rewarded for something we did, we have a positive feeling about ourselves. It happens because we have achieved something. We have scored a goal. But when one uses any drug and dopamine level rises, an imaginary reward is created. However, that reward was never happened in reality. In fact, it can also be said that addiction is not to the drug, but to a high level of dopamine, which leaves the person with constant feel-good sensation. And the drug is convenient, legal, and available to use. That's why addicts continue to be addicted to a high dopamine level. The difference is not the end result of an unreal good feeling sensation, but the drug that delivers the feeling. Either it's nicotine, sugar, alcohol, recreational drugs, and more. And another thing about addiction. In addition to cigarettes, fattening foods, alcohol, and drugs, the addict compulsively consumes the addictive substance which the body does not need and does not want. That's why many addicts try to quit the habit using their willpower. That's why in the next lesson we will learn what is the willpower, what are the weaknesses, and why over 90% of people who try to quit with willpower return to the addiction in less than 1 year. All right, friends, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.